I'm so glad that I decided to film this recipe because, as you could see, I have a lot of peppers from my garden. It is getting really cold out, so I just went outside and harvested all the green peppers that were left, and I was just gonna throw this together, the stuffed peppers, and didn't really think a whole lot about this, but this turned out so good. It is one of my new favorites now, so I don't have any more peppers to make this fresh, but I may take some of my frozen peppers and see if I can figure out how to make a deconstructed version of this. So if I do that, I'll definitely share it with you. So you just want to take all your peppers. Obviously, if you get these from the grocery store, they're all one size and uniform. I had some little tiny ones, I had some bigger ones, but like I said, this is just kind of all the leftover green peppers, green bell peppers that were left in my garden, which normally I'm not able to grow very well, but this year I was able to grow a lot of them. So I was very happy with this. I'm just gonna core them and pull out all the ribs and seeds and place them in my baking dish. My chickens will really enjoy these pepper tops, ribs, and seeds, so I'm going to save those for my chickens and they can have those tomorrow. So you want to take a bowl and make your stuffing for your peppers, and I am using ground beef here, but you could use ground pork, you could use even probably ground sausage would be delicious, but I had some ground beef thawed that needed to be used up, so I decided to use that. So to my ground beef, I just added some paprika. I'm not sure how much because I don't measure any of this. I added some onion, minced onion, and some minced garlic here. I would say that I've added about a tablespoon of each. And then you want to add about a teaspoon of pepper. And then here I add about 2 teaspoons of salt. I made some marinara sauce and I had some in the refrigerator, so I'm just adding this half of a jar of marinara that I had in the refrigerator, and then I am adding a new jar of marinara to this meat mixture. So if you buy one store-bought bottle of marinara, that should be the perfect amount for 1 pound of meat here. This marinara was so good and it added a little touch of sweetness to this, so I'm glad that I decided to add the marinara to the meat mixture. Then you want to add 1 cup of rice to this, and then you just want to mix this all together really well. I use the little tool that I've told you about before that I've found at Dollar Tree. I do not know if they still have these tools there. I need to go check because I want to get a second one because I use it so much. It's always in the dishwasher. So I just take this tool and just break up all of the meat and mix everything together really well. Since I didn't have a recipe and this is just how I cook, I decided that I wanted to put some Worcestershire sauce in here. So I put about 2 tablespoons of Worcestershire sauce in this mixture, and then I just mix that around really well to make sure that it's good and incorporated. So then you take your mixture, and I used a spoon here, and I just shove it down into the pepper and pack it in as tight as I can because you want to use up all of this delicious meat and rice mixture that you just made. So I did have a little bit of meat mixture left over, and I did not let that go to waste. I just took it and kind of squeezed it in amongst all of the peppers because this all just kind of cooks and makes a nice sauce anyway. So whatever is left in the bottom is just kind of like a delicious meat sauce. So I just, like I said, stuck that all along in between the peppers that were in the pan, and that way I didn't have to think of something else to do with this meat. And obviously we're not wasting any food around here. This probably would have been good, maybe patted up into a patty or made into like a chili base or something, but I just decided to use this meat up because I had already had it in the refrigerator thawed for a couple of days. So now you just want to take regular tomato sauce. I did not use marinara for this. I think it would have made it too sweet. So I just took some homemade tomato sauce from my tomatoes from the garden this year, and I just poured this tomato sauce over the top and just spread it out. Yes, I smelled it. This is, like I said, one of my first years of really being serious about canning. So I just smelled it just to make sure that it smelled good. And obviously it did, or I would not have been putting it on top of my meal here. So I just put this on and kind of spread it out all the way around. I was a little worried there wasn't enough, but after I put this in the oven and covered it, all the juices kind of came out of the peppers. So I used a white cheddar cheese that I bought from Aldi, and this was a sharp white cheddar cheese. I love this cheese. I get this out and just cut some off and snack on it. It's so good. But I just shred this up. A lot of times I use my food processor for this, but I decided I need a little bit of an arm workout, so I just grated this by hand. And this is a harder cheese, so it is easier to grate. I find that the softer cheeses, I'll just go get my food processor and let that do the work. So you just want to put an even layer of this cheese all over the top of your peppers here, and I'm just getting up all the little pieces of cheese that fell out. And then you're just going to bake this in a preheated 375 degree oven. And I let the cheese kind of melt a little on the top, and then I put a piece of foil on. If you put a piece of foil on from the beginning, the foil will stick to the cheese, and you don't want that to happen. So I cooked this in the oven for about an hour. It takes that long for the rice to cook and for the peppers to cook as well. So it comes together really fast, but you do need an hour of cooking time if you're going to make this. So it's not really like a quick dinner, but it does come together quick. So this is something that you could probably mix up the day before or a couple days before and just have it in the refrigerator waiting for you to bake up. So after this is finished and this is nice and brown and it's cooked through and the rice is tender. It looks so good and it is so delicious. I was actually shocked how good this meal was, and like I said, it was just kind of a throw together thing in my mind. I did not think that it was going to be that big of a deal, but this is something that I am going to definitely plant more peppers in my garden for, so that I can make this a whole lot more, because I didn't think about making it this season. I hope that you will give this recipe a try, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.